Heather Sloan had led a normal and quiet life. She'd never heard of a near-death experience until the day she died. She was rushed into hospital with an ectopic pregnancy. What was about to happen to Heather would later be classified by the Grayson scale as having all the components of a deep near-death experience.
They rushed me up to the operating theatre. It was an immediate operation. And I don't actually remember leaving the ward, so I must have blanked out somewhere along the line going to the theatre. And when I came to, I was aware that I was standing beside a bed. Having been a nurse in the past, you think, I better check how the patient is, and I looked in the bed to see the patient, and then realised it was me. And that was the first that I'd come to realise that I was standing outside of me. I was then aware that there was a voice to the side of me saying, don't worry about that. Go, you know, come with me and move into this light. And I moved into this tunnel of light. When I got out to the other side, it was what I can only describe as pure love, really. Absolute pure peace. I wasn't even bothered about what I'd left behind. And eventually you meet the only thing I can describe as pure perfection. I cannot describe it in any other way. And at that point you think, I don't think I should be here, because I didn't really feel that I was worthy to be in front of what was pure perfect. And nobody says you're dying, that you're just allowed to sort of become aware of things, and you go into a kind of a review of your past, right from when you're really tiny. You remember absolutely everything. You feel instantly all the effects that any action I had on another person. You just literally felt everything. And then came the realisation of, am I going back? And everything halted, and it was, I said, I'm sorry, I can't stay. And I got very, very distressed, because I was thinking I had an 18-month-old baby at home with a husband at sea and no family living anywhere near. I thought, who is going to look after her? And I was really, really upset. And basically it was gradually a discussion of, okay, we'll let you come back. And there was this massive jolt. And I was back in me with the nurses fiddling around, checking my well-being, I suppose.
Heather slowly recovered. She told few people about her near-death experience until she read a similar report in a woman's magazine. It was then she realized she was not alone. Gordon Allen was an entrepreneur, a ruthless and very successful financier who worked in the heart of the Pacific Northwestern business world.
The important values that I had at that time, the first important value was to make sure that everything was okay with my children. The second important value was to maintain cash flow, and that was really what made me run. It also was a lot of fun to make money. I enjoyed making money.
Gordon's ruthless business world was about to be turned upside down. He became acutely ill with pneumonia. Feeling like he was about to die, he took himself to hospital.
I remember putting me in a wheelchair. I remember looking at the admitting area and being wheeled into some sort of a room, and that's about what I remember of that part of it. My next cognitive memory is that of leaving and traveling. You know, and the out-of-body experience begins. The very first thing that came over me was this absolutely profound sensation of love. I mean, and it was so unconditional. A love of the child, or the child of the mother, the two of those interacting. And that love was so totally unconditional, it was overwhelming to me. And that was beautiful and wonderfully accepting. And as I proceeded into this, the sense of this very profound love was followed by a sense of purposefulness, that whatever is happening has a point to it. I ended up in more of a space. I'm not standing on grass, and I'm not out into the woods, and there aren't streets paved with gold. But where I'm at is in a space, and a high spiritual being has greeted me, and there's two other spiritual beings, one on the left, one on the right, and I'm being communicated with. I cannot recreate the sounds in my mind, but I was greeted as an old friend and a loved brother, and that if I chose to go home, come home, I could. Yet I had not finished what I was there to do, and they said, look, they didn't say look, but immediately the thought was communicated to me that all the skills and all the talents and everything that I've been given, which I've been very, very, very blessed with, were for a purpose greater than the purpose that I used it for. The purpose of making money in it itself wasn't it, that there was another purpose for it, and that they should now be applied in some ways that would be shown to me. Absolutely, that's the moment my life changed. That is the moment my life changed.
Today, Gordon has severed all links with business and left the world of money far behind. He's now a qualified counselor and uses his new understanding to help others change their lives.
The after effects that Gordon Allen experienced are typical of a large number of near-death experiencers whose lives before the experience were not compatible with the values they learned afterwards. Some of the people that I've talked with have included like a policeman who found he couldn't kill people, couldn't shoot after his experience, and went on to become a high school teacher. Someone involved in organized crime who went on to become a counselor for delinquent children. These are not unusual stories to hear from near-death experiencers. And I think with someone like Gordon, who had such drive and such organizational skills, to see him use these now to help other people rather than just acquire more wealth is quite phenomenal.